Clearly is an important election for labor in this country. So let me bring in two of the best tonight. Joining me now on our rapid response panel, James Hoffa, president of the International Brotherhood of the Teamsters. Also with us tonight, Lee Saunders, president of AFCSME. Gentlemen, good to have you with us. I want to focus right in on what Mitch McConnell is talking about. Basically, he is saying the corporate tax rate is too high, there's too much regulation, and basically we are going to see a push for Keystone. Mr. Hoffa, what's at stake for labor in this country if Republicans take over the Senate?
Well, they've been waiting all along of this to get this done, to attack the challenge, to attack the president, and go after issues that are going to have the rich and the big corporations. They're after attacking anybody that wants to raise minimum wage. They're against that. They're against equal pay for women. They want to basically have trade agreements where they can send American jobs overseas. So you can see what their objection is. It's something that's bad for America, and they're just waiting to hope that they win this Senate race that's on right now. But I think we've got a chance here to win this. I don't think it's over yet. It's not about winning, but if we can keep the majority here in the Senate, we will be able to maintain this role we have right now and make sure we maintain a fair America. But the danger is, you see what they're talking about. They want to go into trade agreements where they can start sending American jobs overseas. That's wrong. Yeah. We've been fighting this, and we're going to keep on fighting.
Mr. Saunders, it's pretty clear that the Democrats, the progressive movement, they've won the argument on minimum wage in this country, it seems like, but can you win elections on that issue? Your union, AFCSME, has really been hit hard by Walker's agenda in Wisconsin. How important do you think it is? In fact, you've called him public enemy number one. How important is the victory there tonight, and also where some of these other radical governors are?
Well, I believe it's extremely important, and there's a clear choice that can be made between these extremist governors who were elected in 2010, taking collective bargaining rights away from public service workers, attacking all kinds of labor rights, attacking voting rights, attacking the public education system in this country, not supporting an increase in the minimum wage. They want to do away with the minimum wage, quite honestly, not supporting equal pay for equal work. So there's a clear choice that has to be made. I believe, and I've been traveling across this country, and I'm in Florida right now, and I believe that people get it. They understand it. If you look at the polling sites in Florida, I was around on Sunday visiting the early voting sites, and there were lines of people standing, waiting patiently to cast their vote. People understand that this is an extremely important election, and the choices are very, very clear. We have got to vote out those individuals who think like Scott Walker, those extremist governors, vote in friends who believe and support the issues of working families across this country, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Well, I want to ask you about Florida, because I've been down here reporting the last few days as well. I think voter suppression has had a lot to do with this turnout, that people understand what's unfolding in front of them. I mean, you can talk minimum wage, you can talk Obamacare, you can talk about wages all you want, but people, they're upset that someone has tried to invade their freedom when it comes to voting. And I think this voter suppression has had a lot to do with it. Have you sensed that as well since you've been on the ground in Florida?
I think you're exactly right, Ed. I believe that people are reacting to attempts to steal our voices, to steal our democracy, take it away from us. People gave their lives for the right to vote. And that's why it's so important that we knock on those doors and that we make those phone calls and talk to our coworkers and families and friends about the importance of this election. This is a midterm election, and we know that historically midterm elections, a lot of folks don't show up. But it's changing here. You look at the early voting, the numbers are well above the 2010 levels. Participation today looks great. So we're just continuing to push our folks to get out to vote. They understand that they're under attack, and working families are under attack. And the way that they can make their voices heard is through the voting process.
Mr. Hoffa, do you think within your group, the Teamsters, that you were going to reset the mold, reset the model for midterm turnout? I mean, we are hearing that there are some very good turnout in pockets of the country.
Well, I think Michigan's doing extremely well. As I told before, so many states have, multiple days of vote where they can vote, and that's important right now. And you see a record amount of people getting out to vote right now. In Michigan, we're having record number of people voting. They are basically working families coming out to vote right now. So even though they have one day, they are swarming to the phones, and I think we've got a chance to make sure we win the whole thing.
Okay. Well, it's important for the Democrats to hang on to the Senate if the progressive movement is going to have any kind of life in the next couple of years. The obstruction that has taken place in Washington has been unprecedented. And so, Mr. Saunders, let's say the Democrats hang on tonight. Lee, what do you think happens in the next 2 years? How much fight is going to be against this obstruction, or are we going to see more of the same?
Well, I think that they'll think twice about doing what Scott Walker did in the state of Wisconsin. I think that if we're successful in electing folks who believe in supporting fairness, who want to provide dignity and respect for those on the job, and if we're successful in electing those kinds of governors, those kinds of senators this evening, then I think they're going to have second thoughts about it. But I think they're going to continue to try to attack us in every way that they can, and we're always going to have to be prepared. We're always going to have to organize and mobilize and educate our communities, and we're always going to have to be aggressive in fighting back.
And 2016 starts tomorrow, I guess. James Hoffa of the Teamsters, Lee Saunders of AFCSME. Great to have you gentlemen with us tonight. Stay with us.